Hi there, my name is Naj Husain, CEO of Aperture Software. So I'm here to talk to you about a few different approaches to backup and recovery of mission-critical applications. So we took a little different approach, and we call it continuous application protection. And the idea is that we protect the whole environment. So think about contrasting products like Ghost, for example. You know that Ghost is highly leveraged on PCs. So the idea is that you kind of image the server and you get a copy of the whole server. So what we've done is we've made application imaging. We've kind of made it enterprise-ish. So we have an enterprise class imaging solution now that actually protects the entire machine. So we got the application, the OS, and its data, and we continually protect it. So it's incremental images forever. So what the benefit of this kind of approach is you get really fast backup. So because it's at the block level, you can protect the whole machine very quickly and easily. And you get the whole machine. Think about this. If I have an application failure, for example, and I lose my system drive, my application's just as down if I just lost my data. So traditional backup solutions really focus on the data. What we've done is we expanded it out to protect the entire app. So if you lose your application, or if you have application corruption, you can recover from that. So it's not just about the data, it's about the application. So the big benefit, very fast backup. So you can eliminate your backup windows very, very quickly. Because we're at the block level, the backup window goes away. You get very fast restores. Because we're at the block level, you're able to restore applications quickly, all the way from bare metal all the way through to individual message or database, etc., to the object level. The images are compressed and deduped. So the idea is, because we're at the block level again, we can do a very good job of compressing and deduping the data over time. So the value of that is you can store more with less. So I can keep more recovery points on my disk for a greater period of time, giving me additional protection. Application assurance. The thesis behind that feature is the idea of about actually looking inside of the recovery points and doing corruption detection on the application itself. So 42% of recoveries fail from tape is a good example, or 20% of Exchange data stores fail to recover because of corruption. So with solutions such as this, you can actually, because you're at the block level, you can drill inside the application, check the application consistency at the block level to determine if you have application corruption. So it's a very important capability. So it's all about the backup testing. Incremental images forever. So because you have incremental images, you can keep more on your backup footprint. So my retention window becomes bigger or longer. So I can keep my backups for a longer period of time with less storage consumption. And then high availability. Again, back to the image. So because I have this block level image, I can actually create virtual standbys now of my production environments. So the image can be continuously updated into a virtual environment. So if I do have a failure of my primary workload, I can actually boot up the standby. So why continuous application protection? So the horror stories, 24 hours of data loss is unacceptable to most organizations now. Just imagine your CEO losing their BlackBerry access. You know what kind of pain you go through. Or you lose a production SQL database. How do you recover from that? So 24 hours is totally unacceptable. So companies are looking now for RTOs, recovery time objectives, and recovery point objectives literally in the minutes. So how do you accomplish that? Mandated disaster recovery protection for corporate information. So now there's new mandates now that require companies to keep information off-site. Business continuity when a disaster strikes. So how do you fail over, or how do you recover when you lose a site, or you lose a server, or you lose a database, or you have application corruption? What do you do? Application portability is huge. What happens when your site or you lose a complete organization? How do you recover from that? So the idea of being able to take your applications now, virtualize them, and move them onto the network for recoverability is a hot topic nowadays. So the idea that, going back to continuous application protection, the fact that we have the whole image, we got the application, the data, and the operating system in one encapsulated recovery point, we can then it becomes portable. I can move it to a network share. I can virtualize it so I have it available when I need to spin it back up. So a couple things that we look at that validated our approach for replay app image is very interesting. Here's some interesting quotes. Before replay app image, we used to require twice the amount of storage, added Jose. Our backup storage requirements have been reduced by 50%. So it comes back to the idea of being able to protect the whole application, being able to compress and dedupe at the block level to literally restore the storage savings, to accomplish the storage savings. The easiest backup and disaster recovery solution I've ever deployed, reducing my total backup cost, my total cost of backup. So one of the thesis behind the design of the product was to be able to make sure that it was easy to use. If you look at traditional backup products today, they're pretty heavy-handed. The interfaces are long and cumbersome just because they've been on the market for so long. We've had the luxury of starting from a clean sheet of paper, so we really designed it around the application managers to come up with a very intuitive way of protecting these applications very simply. I'm the hero of the day thanks to replay. So this gentleman was able to recover from an entire server outage literally with a push-button failover. So what they did, they protected their mission-critical apps. It happened to be a SQL server with replay, and they created a virtual standby of that environment. So they did have a corruption problem with one of the physical corruption problem on one of these SQL servers. They were then able to boot the virtual standby and bring it back up, and lo and behold, they were up and running very quickly. So that's the concept around continuous application protection. Really, it is a new way of thinking about backup and recovery. And at the end of the day, it's all about the recovery, right? It's about how fast you can get back from a failure of any type. So with this kind of solution, we're able to provide that end-to-end recovery, literally from any possible failure. So thank you for your time. You can check us out at www.aperture.com. We offer free trials as well, and hope to see you there. Thank you.